Welcome, folks, to another Wednesday Night Live with yours truly, Tanya Tomasovich, here in the group Intuitive Minds Already Know. How is everybody doing tonight? I apologize. I had to up this from 7:30 to 6:30 for personal reasons. I had to, hello, Grace. I had to up it from 7:30 to 6:30. I had to change the time, so I'm sorry. But we are going to stay on topic tonight. Hopefully this will be short and sweet. I always like to say that, but it never usually turns out that way. But we'll try to keep it under an hour and 45 minutes tonight. We're going to talk about the chakras. We're going to talk about the third chakra tonight, which is the solar plexus, otherwise known as the solar plex. Hello, Jojo. Thank you for watching. Want to talk about some updates. Hey, Jojo, right away. My dog is 30, my dog is not 30. He's 13. Hey, Joel, where are you, buddy? He's here. He's 13. He's hanging on, hanging in. Still have not got a letter from Jack. There is one on its way. We have been using the Sandbox app, so we know when our letters get there, when they're mailed, and there's one on the way. But I don't know if that's a legit letter from him or if it's this so-called form letter. Hello, Fred. Thanks for tuning in. We have 297 members, folks, and I keep saying that the 300th member will get a free oracle card reading from me. So we are so close, folks. We just need 3 more members. So that 300th member will get a free oracle reading from me. So let's just dive right into it. I pulled a card already. And this is such it seems like there's a theme kind of going on in my readings lately. And so this is going to fit right in. So the card I pulled tonight is the green forgiveness card with the rainbow. And that's so appropriate for what we're talking about is the chakras. So it says letting go, healing, growth, and compassion, which that letting go part is a big part of the solar plexus chakra, and we'll talk more about that. So let me just read from the book. It's time to let go of unresolved grief and blame toward yourself and others. When we cling to pain and grievance, we create blockages in our heart that dampen our energy and experience, even if we believe we are justified in holding back forgiveness. In the end, we are the ones who suffer the most. Like a fragile wound freshly cleaned, when we release old anger and resentment, we may at first feel raw and vulnerable. It is here in our vulnerability that we are wide open and sensitive enough to truly allow healing to begin. In this letting go, there is strength and lightness of being that has the power to transform. This card is an invitation to allow the energy of forgiveness to move through you. If you have not had the chance to fully express your grief or anger, you may wish to write down your feelings, cry, or even yell if you need to. Express what comes up for you and then be willing to let it go. Whatever it is, it does not need to define who you are, nor does it deserve to burden your heart any longer. Trust and allow all of life's imperfections, including your own, to be released into the breeze, where they may spiral their way lightly back to the earth. Set yourself free through forgiveness. If you've been following me, folks, you know that I do talk about releasing and forgiveness ceremonies. I am going to perform one at my house again in September. So I believe the event is out there on the Facebook group. So if you're interested in learning more about that, either reach out to me or accept the invite and come in September to the forgiveness ceremony. Another event that I'm hosting in April is the Journey into Journaling. It's where we're going to talk about journaling and the importance of it being a part of your life, having it routinely in your life. And if you sign up and come, space is limited, so please let me know if you're going to come. You will get a handy dandy handmade, hello Lizzie, handy dandy hand decorated journaling journal. Isn't this cool? I got inspired and I'm going to make some more for all my guests that are going to be there. So tonight, let's talk about the solar plexus. Solar plexus is masculine because you know it starts from the root. That was masculine. We did the sacral, which is feminine. Now we're every other is masculine, feminine. So we're dealing with another masculine chakra tonight, which is the solar plexus, however you want to say it. I'll be saying solar plex tonight. My content is based out of this book. It's very detailed. There are a lot of tests. There are a lot of kind of like tests to analyze and see how open or less open your chakra is. We don't like to refer to them as closed because they are always open. It's just that some are a little more open than the other. So it's the third chakra. It's located just above your navel, or AKA belly button. The color of it associated is yellow. It governs your midsection and all of your digestion organs. The element is, the earth element associated with it is fire and your sense of sight. It relates to your confidence, your motivation, your personal power, your ego, and your identity. It houses our decision making. And if you heard of the saying, like listen to your gut or use your gut instinct or go with your gut, I got a gut feeling. That's what that's made from, because that's where our decision making skills they're enveloped in there. So if you've ever been on the fence about making a decision and you got butterflies, or maybe you're nauseous, or maybe you're getting the diarrhea, that is why, because those decision-making skills are harbored right there in your digestive system. So maybe if you're not feeling so hotsy-totsy in there, maybe you need to decide something, get it over with, yay or nay it. This chakra is where your energy from your value and your self-worth radiates. If you have, and we'll get into the related illnesses and the diseases here in a little bit, but if you have any of these, maybe it is related to your low self-esteem. If you have a low self-esteem, I know that I did the test in the book, and we'll talk about that too. And I was told a while back that my weakest chakra is at the time was my solar plex, and that's my low self-esteem. I don't think that's the case anymore. It is still one of the lower vibrating chakras for me, but I feel since I have been on my journey about finding my highest good, and that is my main priority, that my other chakras are so enhanced and heightened that no longer is, it's low, but I think it's higher than it was. Does that make sense? This chakra develops from ages 15 to 21. So that's a very important part of someone's life, that they're developing their sense of identity. Think of teenagers, and it makes sense why when we think of teenagers that they're kind of sassy, they're kind of rebellious, disobedient, they kind of want to make up their own rules, and they don't always follow our rules. So that makes sense, because by default, and you kind of got to give them a break. And I wish I knew some of this stuff when I was going through a teenager and raising my teenagers, because I could have definitely looked at it with a different perspective, and gave them just a little bit of break. But by default, they're forging their own identity and their own independence. So does that make sense with everybody? Feel free to comment or ask questions during this. This is a Q&A. It's a safe space. You can ask anything. No judgment. The gland that it's associated with is the adrenals and the pancreas. Food type is carbohydrates. The stones are citrine, topaz, tiger eye. fire agate, yellow apatite, and golden calcite. Essential oils associated are lemon, peppermint, ginger, black pepper, cardamom, myrrh, pine, and sage. The celestial bodies associated with it are Sun and Mars. Main focus, we talked about that, is personal power and identity. Let's go to page 109 if you have the book and you're following along, because I want to talk about the related illnesses. And there's just so many that I have to read from the book sometimes. So think about now, as you're watching this, if you're still on or you want to watch it later, if you have the book, you can follow along in the book 109. So abdominal hernia, bipolar, breast cancer, chronic fatigue, Crohn's disease, diabetes, dyslexia, food allergies, gallstones, gastritis, gout, hepatitis, hypoglycemia, impotence, indigestion of all kinds, insomnia, IBS, jaundice, kidney stones, liver disease, nausea, obesity, pancreatitis, PMS, stuttering. Haha, I do that a lot. You guys are witness. I do that a lot. Tourette's syndrome. I also do that by choice. And ulcers. So a lady reached out to me for some health advice, and I told her, I said, well, go to this page, and I sent it to her, and I'm like, cross off all the ones that you are experiencing. And she was blown away by so many of the discomforts and the illnesses that she could cross off on these books. So if you can cross off like half of those, I mean, that'd be a good place to start, by looking at some of these things that affect your self-esteem, you know, and kind of look at it that way. Underactive signs, digestion issues, either like the stomach. So if you get indigestion or heartburn, kidney, liver, diabetes, fatigue, low self-esteem, we talked about that, overactive, bullying, rage, ulcers, cancer in the stomach. Now there is many different ways to heal and to balance for yourself. Now, if you've been watching these, I talk a lot about that. When it's balanced for you. So all the chakras are essentially in the center of your spine. So like this, but they don't always have to be like straight in a line. So if you have one that's over more of another, you still might feel fine. It's just, it has to be balanced for you. So some of the healing techniques of if your chakra is not open, or I shouldn't say not open, but less open, or too open. Core strengthening, because right where that belly button is, that's where our chakra is. So why not focus on the core? Core strengthening yoga. This one was really interesting. It says puzzles and sunbathing. That was really interesting. I'd never heard that like puzzles or sunbathing can heal your solar plex. Now the aura is associated with mental. So this, we talked about auras before. If you don't know what an aura is the color of your energy, and it starts like from the closest to your body and works its way out. Lowest vibration chakras, then on the way out. So we're talking about yellow. So that's going to be, I don't remember where it was, but it's the third one from your body. I'll try to find it in here, exactly whereabouts that solar plex aura is, but we're all different, so it could be different in many other people. This layer is connected to both the conscious and the subconscious, and reveals any self-doubts or limiting beliefs. Does anybody have any questions so far? I am going to run through this quite quick. There's a card at the end I want to read, a self-love card, but feel free to ask questions. This book is very detailed. We'd be here forever if I read everything. I'm going to read the fight or flight out of the book, page 57. So The primary glands that are associated with the solar plex are the adrenals. They reside on the top of our kidneys, right in the middle of the area governed by our third chakra. They put out adrenaline that triggers our fight or flight response. We all know what that is. An automatic physiological reaction of wanting to do battle or flee that occurs when we experience a perceived harmful event, attack, or threat. In other words, the adrenals make us want to take action, which is the primary quality of the solar plexus, making a decision. Get off the fence, stay on the fence. And they are yellow. Because the third chakra is also about digestion and processing food for energy, because we need energy to either fight or flight, it secretes a variety of substances essential to effective digestion and also creates insulin, which helps to regulate the body's blood sugar level. And that is in the endocrine gland, the pancreas. Any questions? Any questions? The key, I wrote this down. The key to balancing chakras is to become self-aware of the illnesses and discomfort and discover what things serve you and what things not serve you. Only then can you decide how to balance for you. And I can't stress that enough. It's how they balance for you. Everybody's different. I want to let you know the stones, because we like to talk about stones. And this is fitting because I have one of them. I don't have a lot of self-esteem stones, yellow stones. So the one that I do have is the tiger's eye. It looks like this. This is also a good one for teenage to young men's ego and self-esteem. They like for jewelry. Okay, so we have citrine. Citrine magnifies personal power and clarity. Helps alleviate fatigue. Topaz stimulates and recharges, clarifies intention, heals gout, and boosts appetite. Tiger's eye cultivates confidence, courage, and good judgment, benefits the pancreas. Fire agate increases courage, vigor, and willpower, helps to overcome addictions. Oh, that's a good one if you're thinking about quitting smoking. Or it's going to be Lent, so if you want to give up something for Lent. Yellow apatite lifts the energy, promotes optimism and self-confidence, enhances digestion. And the golden calcite instills mental alertness and willpower, good for digestion and your diaphragm. Interesting. Chakra that the only one I have is tiger's eyes. Any questions? Feel free to ask questions, even if it's not related to chakras. I said this is a safe space. Foods associated are the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Because the solar plex is associated with the fire element and with the stomach, spicy foods really get it going. I have written down spicy foods stimulate and open the chakra. And that's probably why I don't like spicy foods. This is all like, once I read more, while I'm reading more about this book, there are so many aha moments because I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't like spicy foods. And I mean, I'll try them once in a while, but I don't like spicy foods. I wonder if my self-esteem would be better if I ate more spicy foods. The ginger root is good because it's spicy, has a light yellow hue, and it also helps with indigestion, if you didn't know that. You can make ginger tea. I boil it, the whole ginger root. So I boil it, and then I will add that to my homemade kombucha. Some more foods. good for the solar plex are corn, ginger, potatoes, spicy hummus, papaya, pineapple, polenta, cayenne, cumin, turmeric, and yellow curry. All spicy stuff. All spicy stuff. We talked about, oh, the yoga poses. I want to show you guys in the book. I'm not going to do them. I should, though. The solar plex chakra poses. And these are all for the core, which makes total sense. So we have the balancing cat up here. Also, that one, like when you bring in the leg and the arm, that will stimulate or activate the core, your abs. This is a good one, and you hold it. This right here, what's it called? Oh, the boat pose. Yeah. It's kind of like a reverse, I kind of refer to it as like a reverse plank, because you're the opposite of the plank, where like this is tabletop. What's the other one? Forearm plank. So yeah, this is the plank. And then you're holding your abs here, and then you're also holding your abs here. And then the upward facing table pose. If you have wrist problems, this might be hard for you. But if you do this and you do it like on a mat or whatever, so that your hands are kind of, let me do it. Let me find something like this. So get a mat and put your hand like this. That will help the wrists. That's what I do when I'm doing push-ups or plank. I do them on a mat, and I have my hands kind of over the mat so that my wrists have a little bit better angle. It does help. It helps me. So there's a little fitness tidbit. Let's see what else. I need questions. Ask me anything, folks. This is your time to ask questions. It's a safe space. There are some tests in here to do as well. Solar Plex test on page 88. This book is just wonderful, but it does kind of jump around a little bit, because there are many different, there's a lot of that standardized with each with each one. So on page 88, I'll just show you, this is the test. So some of the questions, and you're supposed to answer either 1, not at all, 2, rarely, 3, occasionally, 4, usually, and 5, absolutely. So there are 12 questions that you ask for each chakra. And then if you have really high points, it's overactive. The next one down is open and balanced. The next one down is slightly underactive. And then next one down lower is very underactive. And then 25 points or less is blocked. And that's for each chakra. That's not all of them together. So you can take every chakra test, or if you just want to do the solar plexus chakra test, I'll just read a couple out of the book. So, can you make decisions quickly and definitely? Are you quick-witted? Do you have a strong will? Are you good at setting and reaching goals? Do you often exercise self-restraint? Do you feel generally confident even when trying new things? And are you highly motivated, not a procrastinator? So those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. There also is another quiz on here, and I want to say it's eclectic energies something. I will post it in the notes because I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, and I'm using a different notebook tonight. There are meditation things in here to help you balance and open more your chakras. Reach out to me if you are interested in those from the book. Otherwise, there's a million of them on YouTube. There's a sound therapy. There's a sound therapy one. That was kind of cool. anybody know if their solar plex is balanced, underactive, overactive, and what we're going to do about it? I think that's all the notes I took. Do we have any other questions? Questions. We talked about stones. We talked about oils. I told you this would be short and sweet tonight. I want to talk about the surrender and surround principle practice. That is something I made up along the way here, folks. And I think that's a great starting point to, we talked that forgiveness card and some of the letting go. So basically what you do is you take a piece of paper and you draw a line down the middle. And on one side, you write surrender at the top. And on the other side, you write surround. It's kind of based on the concept of pros and cons, but it's a little bit different because surrender is what you're going to let go, give up, or sacrifice. And then on the other side is surround. So what are you going to give up in order to surround yourself with blank? So, what's a good one? Especially for low self-esteem. So if you want less drama in your life, in your direct circle of people that are in your life, so what are you going to surrender? Are you going to surrender not being with that group, or are you going to surrender your negative feelings for a certain person? And then in order to get that surround, you're going to surround yourself with things, maybe other people in that group, because that's difficult. So let me go into this a little bit. So let's say you've got a group of friends and you like pretty much almost all of them, except there's like maybe one or two that they just kind of get underneath your skin. They're one of those that kind of like knows it all, got to have the last word. And if you have to be around them in a social setting, it kind of drains you of your energy. And if you're sensitive like me, it's going to drain you right away. So we have to have protection practices. So in that situation, you would surrender like negative thoughts about them. So go into the event or the party or whatever it is with a positive attitude. And then surround yourself with like some affirmations, and surround yourself with others that that aren't as negative. So do you see where I'm going with this? So surrender on the left would be what you're willing to give up or what you don't want. And then surround is what you should have, what you want to have, what you could have. So it's kind of like a pros and cons, but a little bit different. I talked about the journaling. That is free, by the way. Any other questions? Boy, that was quick. I said it would be quick. If we don't have any questions, I want to do the self-love card. And I picked one. And it kind of goes with our forgiveness and the let go theme. So it says, I deserve. And then it's got a line. So you can like put in your own, fill in the blank. I deserve. You deserve to enjoy an amazing life that brings you joy and abundance. You were born worthy. There is nothing you need to do to prove your worth. Come back home to you. Journal on what your best day would look and feel like. See it in your mind. You need to feel it before we can receive it. And then the mantra, I am worthy of a life I love. So this is a good card to practice that self-esteem, because this is like affirmation. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So if you're struggling with the self-esteem, so a good way to boost that chakra is get like a daily affirmation calendar or an app. I have a bunch of cards. I have cards, so I usually pick out one for the week. I'll set an intent. You know, I'll say, okay, I want to feel this way, or I want to accomplish this week. And then I'll pull out a card and then I'll read it. And then I'll put it by my bed or in the bathroom, somewhere where you're gonna read it at least once or twice a day. And even going one step further with that is you can start journaling your own affirmations and start with gratitude. Start practicing gratitude. Start practicing the power of positivity. I believe I hashtag that in the, I think it's the, what do you call it? Like when you hashtag the events or the lives, I can't think of the word right now, but if you go topics, so if you go to topics in this Facebook group, there is one, I believe, called The Power of Positivity. So go and watch that, because that has lots of good tips on starting daily affirmations and starting at the basics, power of positivity. That's where it all kind of started for me on my journey. Or you can journal and you can write like gratitude affirmations. I am grateful for this today. I will be grateful for this tomorrow. It helps kind of shift that what we don't have, and that mindset of what we don't have and what we think we want. It shifts that mindset to appreciate what we already have. And you watch, because the magic will happen if you practice. You know, you can't just do it one day or once a month. You know, you have to make it a routine. It's like anything. You know, if you want to lose weight, you have to focus on your diet. If you want to gain muscle, you have to focus on your workouts, you know, and you have to develop a routine, a program. The same with being spiritual. If you want your life to change, you need to own it and do the work. Do your shadow work. Do your releasing. Do your forgiving. Do your gratitude. I talk about that a lot on here. So that's a good card. I am doing readings again. I was on a little vacation due to my son. He's in basic. So now me and Travis are developing our new routines. So it's been 2 weeks. No letter yet, but I'm hopeful, I'm faithful, and I know I will get a letter. I will definitely get a letter. If I don't get a letter these 13 weeks, somebody's going to hear about it, Mr. Jack. He's going to be hurting unit. So I am back on the calendar for accepting readings. We can do them virtual. It does work. I prefer to do personal. That's just my personal preference, because I like interacting with people one-on-one. But virtual does work if that's your need, if that's your convenience. If that's what you prefer, if you are not able to do a personal, it's $30 for an hour. They're anywhere from 3 to 5 cards, depending on what your intent is. I have many new decks, so reach out to me, and the 300th member will get a free oracle card reading. So if there isn't any more questions, we're going to call it real short tonight. Wow. Real short tonight. So I think I'm still going to follow next week with the heart chakra. That should be one that you need to watch, because that is the center one. That is where the top 3 and the bottom 3 kind of interconnect, and that's like our center. And there's a lot that goes on in the heart chakra. I can testify. All right, thanks for watching. Watch it snow, folks. It's snowing. Snowing like a snow globe. Spring will be here. Be patient. Okay, love you all. Thanks for watching. Reach out, ask questions if you're watching this after the fact. Thanks again.